been a while. Trying to get back in the groove. I'm back in my usual spot. Wanted to do an update. I've been doing a lot of stitching since my last video. So, I finally have a finish. My first technically official finish of from when I started Flosstube almost a year ago. Let's fold it up a little bit. But it is this, the Ireland sampler. Now I haven't ironed it or anything, so you can still see my hoop marks. But it's my Ireland sampler. Still not going to be able to see all the sparkles, but there it is. Completely done. And then I signed it. And there, RFF 2018. I've made a lot of changes, as you guys know. I added backstitching in gold Kreinik, added blending filament to the sheep, backstitched around each sheep with gold Kreinik. So the blending filament's that typical like opalescent stuff, and then around each field is the gold Kreinik, and then around this part that kind of looks like a sweater I did in gold Kreinik. And then down here with the house, I just backstitched in black on either side of the house. Now, one thing I didn't take into consideration when I picked the fabric for this piece was the ecru and the white don't show up very well on light oatmeal, because light oatmeal has tinges of white and ecru and off-white and beige and whatever. So there's that. In real life you can barely see these, so I decided to do that. I think you can see it enough, especially when shadows hit it, and then I outlined it in the blending filament, so when I did that you could see it in real life a little bit better. I didn't outline each of these things, but my first official finish of my Flosstube career, as well as of 2018. So there's that. I'm pretty proud of it. I need to wash it, iron it, and find a frame for it, because I think I want to frame this one. So there's that. Then next, I'm going to go into whips. So this is my 6 Wives of Henry VIII. It's pretty simple. I bought the pattern on Etsy, and so it's got, you know, the wives here, and then 3 more down here, and then above the wives it's got back stitching. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I might. That says the 6 Wives of Henry VIII. And so I've got Catherine of Aragon, Anne Boleyn, Jane Seymour, and then I started working down here on the next one, which is Anne of Cleves. So I like this project because when I finish each wife, it's almost like a mini finish. Now, the only change I made is on each of them. The dates were smaller. I didn't like the way that looked, so I made them bigger, the dates bigger. But I didn't have to adjust anything, because this is where Anne of Cleves started. So I didn't have to adjust it because of changing that. But if you follow me on Instagram, after each wife I post an update. So I posted Jane Seymour. This one's kind of cool. I like this one. It's a lot of fun to stitch up. And then I used to only like to use hoops. Then I found the Q-snaps, and now I'm back on a hoop kick, and so I'm trying different hoops. One of them that I really like is this one. It's by Clover. Yeah, Clover. And it's a 18 centimeter hoop. It's really cool. You open and close it right here. And then it's got this that has a little lip, so you can't pull it all the way through the front. Now the issue with this is it doesn't have anything to grab on. So when you put it on, it's always loosening and the fabric gets loose in here. Still a decent hoop and whatever, but I don't know. Till I find something else. I want to get a stand, a lap stand. I've made one out of PVC pipe. Let's see, did I make a video about that? I don't know if I did. I don't know. I know I posted a picture on Instagram, so if you follow me on Instagram, you can see that. Next whip is, gotta get it out of the bag here. I'll show you the bag real quick. So my husband works at Lowe's, and they had this little cobalt bag on sale, and so when I go to work or other places that I want to take some whips with me, I just put them in here, because it's got a little pocket on the front, or two pockets rather, so I can throw my scissors and other things in there, and then I can put my stuff. That's a clipboard that I was trying to decoupage some magazines, and I didn't like the way they look, so I ripped some of it off. Anyway, whatever, there's that. So my next whip, and I'm not gonna show the whole thing. I've got pictures on my Instagram, but it is August Peridot Fairy. I'm doing a lot of the black work, and then the dark gray and a dark purple down here in the dress. Did the black work around the wings. So this is coming along nicely. I can't wait to have her finished, because she's gonna be beautiful. After I get all the stitching done on this bottom half here, then I'll have to go in and do all the beading. But there's that. I'd say, I don't know, probably 1,000 stitches I've done. Pretty close since the last time. Like I said, mostly all in black, and then did this dark gray and this dark purple that you can see up here in her dress. So there's that. Miss Peridot Fairy. It's gotten some love, and then I've kind of put her to the side a little bit for some other things, like me finishing the Ireland sampler. I just got like in this little ball rolling on that, and then I wanted to finish it. Next I'll show this one. This one I've also posted about on Instagram, but not recently. So this one I'm probably pretty close to 1,500 stitches, give or take roughly. Move that out of the way. There we go. And this one's Etsy pattern, and it's called Elizabeth I as a princess. So it's Queen Elizabeth I as a princess. Started in the left-hand corner. End of the first page goes somewhere over here, and then ends down here. So that'll be the first page. There's 16 pages on this pattern. So this is drapery in the background. I've been doing a lot of stitches. I posted on Instagram, and I think I had done 773 stitches. And then I've been doing a lot more stitching. So I'm pretty close to probably about 1,000 on this one. So there's that. Using a really stiff Aida for this one. I don't know if I like it, quite honestly. I decided to try a different kind of Aida, and so this one's really stiff. I like it, but I don't at the same time. So there is her. And, oops. Let me show you the front page so you can see what she'll look like. So that's what she'll look like. So I started up here above the book. So it's the drapery and all that kind of stuff. Second page will move on, maybe capture her face. Third page definitely will capture her face, and then fourth page is over there. So it's 4 pages across. But there's that, and yeah, it says Portrait of Elizabeth I as a Princess. And I got it on Etsy. I don't know if it's got the Etsy shop on here. Maybe it does. Maybe, I think it's called, I don't know, William Scroats, maybe? I'm not 100% sure, to be quite honest. But there's that. So this is my working copy where I'm highlighting everything. Otherwise I'd be completely lost. On that, so there's her. She's a lot of fun. I know it wouldn't seem like it with all the browns and the kind of muted colors. I mean, if you look at the colors here, so these ones I haven't started using yet, but most of them are really muted. There's a couple of light, bright colors, but not really. But these are all the colors I've been using as of right now. So really muted tones. But I think it's looking beautiful. At first when I started it, I'm like, I don't know if that looks like anything. And then when I got a lot more of the drapery up here done, I'm like, well, I don't know if that looks like it. So then I look back at the picture and I'm like, oh my goodness, it looks exactly like the picture. So there's that. Like I said, probably pretty close to somewhere around 1,200 stitches, like 1,200 to 1,500 stitches on that. Here's another hoop that I've been kind of playing with, and I don't know the brand, but it doesn't have the brand. But it's similar to that Clover, except it's got the deal here. And then the one difference between this and the clover is it's got a groove right there that the thing here sits in. So it kind of grabs onto your piece. So there's that. I've been testing quite a bit of them out, like I said. So there's that. And then the only other thing I have been stitching on is the class schedule Sal by Armada Designs. It's not too late to join, so if I remember, I'll try to link, excuse me, the information down below. I am behind on this one. I got all the information and stuff. Oh, I don't know, in December, I think, is when I bought it and got the pattern for the header and this middle border. So this is January. I got January completed right there. And then this is February's block. I haven't completed that. This is a 16 count, used to be 16 count off-white Ada. I brought it home, washed it. On camera it looks like there's a little bit of marbling. It's also wrinkled too, but I wasn't sure if I was going to dye it on similar color that Armada Designs had called for, but then the more I was seeing people doing it, because I started so late, the more I saw people doing it when they were tagging as they were completing January and completing their border and stuff, I decided to dye some. So like I said, it originally started out as an off-white, and then I dyed it this gray color. They called for gray, or gray color in the pattern. And so what I used was this RIT dye in frost gray. Now I think I put a little too much dye in the thing. I was trying to follow the packaging. Now this is mostly, I think, cotton, made out of cotton, but the directions didn't really say how to do it for cotton. It was only for synthetics. So I tried mashing what the directions said with what other people were saying about dyeing the cross-stitch fabric. It came out great, so I'm pleased with it. Again, that was the RIT Frost Gray. I didn't want to mess with mixing, so I didn't get the powder. I got the liquid stuff, and did it that way. So, pretty pleased with that. Now, thank you guys for tuning in. If you're new, thank you for watching. I encourage you to hit that like button, subscribe if you aren't already. I'm hoping to get back into weekly or every 2 weeks instead of every month videos. I just had to kind of ramp myself up because when I went through my little hiatus period, I wasn't doing a lot of stitching. Now I've done a lot of stitching, as you can see. Ooh, I just hit you guys. My bad. And then as you guys can see, my nails are different. I got them done at this place called the Lacquer Room. This is the second time I've gone to them. First time I had the pointy nails. They fixed me right up. This time I wanted a what's called a skinny square. So it's kind of tapered toward the end, but it's not coffin. And so that's what they did. It's getting, I got about another week and then I can get them filled in. So that's those. Anyway, I think that's all I got. So until next time, hopefully, if not next week, the week after, I'm gonna try at most to do every 2 weeks. Otherwise, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. You can see my updates on both of those platforms. And I'll see you guys later. Have a happy stitching week.